morning, Swords Creek. I'm Peyton.
And I'm Alexis.
Today is Thursday, March 16th, and you're watching ITC News.
Please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty
and justice for all.
Have a great day, guys.
Now to Gabe with Colin and Luke from the archery team.
Good morning, Sports Creek. My name is Gabe, here with Luke Atherton and Colin Miner to tell you a little bit more about archery. Colin, how does archery practice work, and what's a competition setup like?
So archery practice and competitions are always going to be set up with two lines, one at 10 meters and one at 15 meters. And you always start out with 5 arrows, and there's 6 rounds. So you have 6 shots to score a certain amount of points per round. You have points based on how well you hit the target, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And after 6 rounds, your scorecard is handed in and then scored, and then based on that, the average score, your team can win trophies or medals.
All right, and Luke, what season is archery in, and how do I sign up for it?
Well, at the start of the winter, we always host a meeting in the cafeteria to give students the schedule for the year and allow new students to sign up for archery.
All right, and Colin, how many times have you been to States?
I've been to States 5 times.
5 times. So with that much experience, what is your mindset like going into States?
So going into States, knowing that a lot of students who are new are often very nervous, like I was a long time ago. So my biggest mindset, I'd say, is that I try and be as uplifting and positive as possible to make sure that students aren't feeling as nervous, because it's all depending on how well you shoot, and if you're nervous, you're not going to do as good.
All right, and how about you, Luke?
I've been to States. This is going to be my 4th year going to States, and my mindset is just to focus on doing my best and helping others do their best as well.
All right, thank you. My name is Gabe Mall. Back to you in the studio.
There will be a blood drive tomorrow from 1 to 8 in the pack. Sign-ups will be during lunch.
All 16-year-old donors will need a signed consent form from parents. Each donor will get a free St. Patrick's Day t-shirt.
If you are interested in working any of the blood drives, Student Council is always looking for people willing to help out. Follow our Instagram and see the link in our bio to be a potential volunteer.
The class of 2025 will be hosting a sophomore sleepover lock-in on April 6th from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. Come and enjoy bounce houses, food, basketball, movies, and much more.
Tickets will be on sale during all lunches March 20th through March 22nd. They are $10 each. This event is for sophomores only, and we must sell at least 100 to hold the event.
Now back to the STEM lab with Ava and the crew for the middle school play.
I am here with
Luke
and
Sam,
and they are part of the crew for Willy Wonka Jr. So what are your guys' roles?
I'm the stage manager for Stage Left.
And you are?
I'm the stage manager for Stage Right.
Okay, and Sam, can you give me a rundown on what the play is about?
It's about 5 kids who find golden tickets in their chocolate bars, and they get a tour of the Willy Wonka factory, and they get promised unlimited chocolate, but there's a surprise at the end.
Okay, and Luke, when is this all happening?
Friday and Saturday at 7, Sunday at 3, and tickets are $10.
Okay, be sure to go check it out, and back to you in the studio.
Welcome back to Into the Cinema, the show where we share new movies and shows coming to you. This month, we wanted to start off with Creed 3. After dominating the boxing world, Adonis Creed has been thriving in his boxing career and family life. When a childhood friend and former boxing prodigy Damien resurfaces after serving a long sentence in prison, he is eager to prove that he deserves his shot in the ring. The face-off between former friends is more than just a fight to settle the score. Adonis must put his future on the line to battle Damien, a fighter who has nothing to lose. This movie came to theaters on March 3rd. The next movie on our list is Tetris. Tetris tells the story of how one of the world's most popular video games found its way to players around the globe. Hank Rogers discovers Tetris in 1988 and then risks everything by traveling to the Soviet Union, where he joins forces with Alexei to bring the game to the masses. This movie is coming out on March 31st to Apple TV. The final movie on our list is Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Billy Baston and his foster siblings, who transform into the superheroes by saying Shazam, are forced to get back into the action and fight the Daughters of Atlas. They must stop them from using a weapon that could destroy the world. Shazam is coming to theaters March 17th. Thank you for watching this month's installment of Into the Cinema. We'll see you next time.
I went around the school and asked teachers for what the best excuses a student has ever given them, whether it be for missing homework or not coming to class or just missing school in general.
Yeah, well, I mean, the best excuse, I think, was, that they had something really important to do for football or track. I'm obviously biased. But the worst excuse, I've got a long list. My dog ate my Chromebook was pretty bad. I've gotten a lot of like generic ones. I forgot my charger or whatever. Back in the old days, we used to get some more creative ones before, things were as much online, so, there was a flood in my basement or something like that, One that I remember distinctly from about 15 years ago was where a kid said that their twin sister did their homework and took it in and turned it in as their own. I always found that one to be pretty interesting.
So I don't have an excuse that a student told me about their homework. I actually have an excuse I had to give to a student. I gave the student their work back, but it was a little bit damaged because I was grading papers at home and I was sitting on my couch and my 1-year-old son was annoyed that I wasn't paying attention to him. So he came up and he actually bit the student's paper while I was working on it, and I actually had to give it back to the student with my son's bite marks on the corner of the paper. Thankfully, the student was really gracious and kind about it.
All right, probably a couple odd ones are cars have eaten a lot of artwork, like it goes to the back seat of a car, never to return, or the trunk of a car, never to return. It's gotten stepped on in a car, it's gotten spilt on in a car. I have kids that miss a lot of school for babysitting, which I think is just interesting.
I think the worst excuse that I've had is that people just say they don't have a pencil. Especially in class, they're not able to work because they don't have anything, nor do they ask anybody for one. But I think the best excuse for not doing their homework is because their hamster was pregnant and had to deliver babies and they had to rock it all night.
If you guys didn't already know, ITC is hosting a March Madness bracket, and we asked Coach Root how he fills out his.
Choose my bracket. I watch a lot of college basketball, so I kind of look at matchups, but I think guard play is really important, as well as having a good inside game. But defensive teams, I think typically if they're in the top 5 and their defensive efficiency, they have a good chance of going all the way to win the national championships.
If you don't watch college basketball 24/7, you could just pick the favorite teams.
Probably the favorite would be Alabama. They have a really good player, Brandon Miller, and they're the #1 overall seed. But I would say Houston and Kansas. Houston lost one of their better players, too, in their conference tournament, so that might hurt their chances, but I like Kansas as well.
Gonzaga. UNC Asheville.
I wish I could take Tennessee, but they're going to lose early, so I'm going to go Alabama.
I think Kansas is going back to back.
So I picked Texas for one of my brackets, and then I picked Kansas for my other bracket.
If you haven't already, click this QR code right here to fill out your bracket. Today is the last day you can do that, so make sure you get that done. Winner gets $25, and the second place gets $15 to one of ITC's sponsors.
St. Patrick's Day is a cultural and religious celebration held on March 17th. This day is based on a man named St. Patrick's and lived during the 5th century. He was kidnapped and brought to Ireland as a slave at age 16. He later escaped but returned to Israel and brought back Christianity to the people. He later explained the Holy Trinity using the Irish clover. One of the reasons we wear green on St. Patrick's Day is because of Ireland's nickname, the Emerald Isle. The green stripe in the Irish flag also played a role. So remember to wear your green on Friday.